Awesome. So then, moving into the NFL, talk about, those guys getting drafted. Were you suspecting that you might, go on draft night, or were you talking to any teams before that?
Yeah, I think just like anyone thinks, especially who was like a multi-year starter
Mhm.
in college, that there's probably a better chance that you'll get drafted. I thought maybe the highest I would go is like the third, fourth round. Probably the fourth round, I think, was the highest I think I would go. Um, so when I didn't get drafted, it was definitely tough, but I just kind of changed my mindset back to like, all right, you're basically back on the lowest totem pole again. You got
Right.
to work your way up. It's kind of like the undrafted guys, kind of like being a walk on the football team, and then the guys who are drafted are on scholarships. So I kind
Yeah.
of had to put myself in that mindset and knew that I had to just work really hard and do everything right.
Awesome. So then, how quickly after the draft did the Ravens sign you?
I would say we had like basically a verbal agreement,
Okay.
hour. So that like it's like a bunch of teams calling you, and you're trying to like figure out like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? And so ended up with the Ravens, and it was probably like an hour after the um, draft had ended that I was like, hey, like yeah, I'll come to the Ravens. They're like, all right, we'll send your agent a contract, and when you get up here for rookie minicamp, we'll get you physical and all that stuff and sign the contract. So
Great.
it was pretty crazy because it just happened so fast
Yeah.
that you can manage a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And then so between, when you were drafted and this mini camp, did you just, were you really happy with Duke facilities and you decided to stay there and train, or, did you go home?
So are you talking like after rookie minicamp or
Yeah.
before like the draft? I stayed back at Duke because my wife and I were still living there, and so yeah, that's where I went back to train for a little bit more when we got a break. And so, yeah, I mean, the facilities there were still really accessible, and all the same strength coaches and the whole staff, and locker room was really easy to get in and out of. So, yeah, I didn't have to go too far and find some place to go.
Cool. And so then was it a big adjustment where, because, obviously you have your house now and then you have your house in Baltimore. When you're drafted, did you stick with that same situation, or did you decide, maybe potentially moving to Baltimore full time?
So my rookie year is kind of funny. We moved all of our stuff to Baltimore, and then lived in Baltimore for the whole year, and then decided, you know what, I think it'll be better if we could split time between um, Baltimore and Charlotte, because we
Mhm.
just loved you know, just having that break from the season. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, and then I actually would rent a place during the season, and then come off season I would live in the hotel that they had for us because I just wanted to save money, and they would pay for it for us,
Right.
and I would have a place to live and all that, and my wife could come and visit me when she wanted to. So that's the way I saved money. And now that I was a little more established, I could have an apartment up in Owings Mills and then have a house down here. So yeah, I
Yeah.
was that was just a good way for me to yeah, just save some money.
Yeah. And so, I've seen a lot of these actually videos lately that have been super popular. I saw the one that they did with Will Hernandez, about, what people spent their first paychecks on. As soon
Yeah.
as they signed their contract, what were the big things? Was there anything for you that you were like, okay, now that I finally, got a contract on the table, this is the one thing I want?
No, there wasn't anything like too crazy. I don't know. I got a car. I traded in my truck that I had in college, um, and got a car like my second year, so in 2017. But it was like nothing really fancy. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I bought a house about 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now, 3 years ago,
Right.
yeah. And so that's kind of like the biggest purchase. I'm not a huge jewelry guy. I'm not. I love. If I could buy some like crazy expensive car, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Just kind of keep it low key.